Hey, what's going on, Weavers? Tim here again, and do you like cold, canned beverages? Are you a hot-blooded, sweaty individual like I am? If you answered yes to one or both of those questions, you're going to love this Paracord can Koozie. Or is it Koozie? I don't know. But in this episode, we will be making a Paracord can Koozie to help keep your beverages cold. This method is the vertical hitching or rib cage hitching technique, and I got this idea from none other than Stormdrain. I'll link his blog post below. So this is a really great way to keep those hot hands from warming up your beer, or in this case, root beer, and it also looks really nice. I've even got this nice bead from Schmuckatelli on here. So that being said, let's get into it. In terms of materials, I've got a shorter orange piece for the starting point, and I'm using moss for the rest of the project. Now this can Koozie is open on the top and the bottom, but if you want it completely closed at the end there, you want to add an extra 5 feet or so. Also, I'm using this Schmuckatelli Kiko Tiki bead. I've also got my can that I'm wrapping, and I've just got some paper wrapped around it to make it easier to see. You don't have to do this part, of course. To get this one started, I'm going to feed both terminal ends of the orange cord through my bead, and the easiest way to do that would be to take some thin cord, like this micro cord, and loop it around the orange, and then from there I can pass the micro cord through the bottom of the bead and pull it out to the other side. Next, I'm going to tie a diamond knot with my orange strands, making a counterclockwise loop with the right strand and laying it over the left. Bring the left side around the right and go under the section under the loop. After forming the carex bend, bring the right side strand counterclockwise past the base strand and go through the middle. With the left, go counterclockwise past the base strand and go through the middle. Gather both strands and tighten the diamond knot. From there, I'm going to loop my orange strand around the can, and my bead is going to be used to cinch it up. If you don't have a bead, or if you don't want to use a bead, you can always use a simple cord lock or a ranger bead knot. Instead of using a fid, I'm just going to lightly melt the end of my cords by taking my lighter to them, being careful not to actually burn them, and I also roll the end with my fingers to get a point, but be careful of course. I did this for both ends, but you only really need one end. Next, let's get this moss cord anchored to the orange by going under the orange cord from the bottom. Bring it back in front and under the standing end, then through the loop we just created. Pull it tight and lock that cord down. Working with the long end of the cord now, I'm going to make my first half hitch by going under the orange cord from the top, and then bring it over to the right side, going over the standing end and pull all the cord through. So I'm going to keep tying half hitches going around the orange strand, spaced about an inch or so apart. There are going to be 8 half hitches going around, and that includes the starting knot. Now that I've made my way once around the top of the can, I'm going to start my second row by doing a half hitch around the starting anchor knot. Just go in on the right side of the knot and come back around to the right side in front and pull all the excess cord through. To continue this process, you're just going to repeat by doing all following half hitches through the next hitch. Just go through the right side of the hitch to the left and then pull the cord through, and then passing over the top of the standing end. This process of hitching around the previous row of half hitches is what will create the ribcage look. You're going to have to keep your tension and distance between the hitches consistent to make it look even. Now I think I did an okay job, but you might have to play around with it to get the feel down. I myself undid and redid my first couple laps around the can just to make sure I got the hitches nice and even. So just continue this process of tying your hitch knots going down the can until you get to the bottom edge. I like to use my left thumb to hold the previous half hitch in place while I tie the following one. It'll get a lot easier as you make your way down the can. And looking here quickly is where you start the third row. Just do the same half hitch over the starting row. This row where the bead is might be a bit wider than the others, but you can always play around with the spacing of the vertical hitches. So we've made our way down to the bottom edge of the can, and to transition over the side, I'm now going to tie the 2 half hitches in between the previous hitches. I'm going to do this the whole way around and start spiraling towards the center of the bottom of the can. If you want to cover more of the can faster, you can always spread your half hitches out a bit more and it'll appear more net-like. So once you've done one row, just continue the half hitches going through the previous row and make your way to the center. So I've now run out of cord, and all I'm going to do after this last hitch is snip and singe the last bit of cord on the bottom there. And then don't forget to go back up top and clip the excess from the starting knot too. Now this part is optional of course, but I'm going to add a cobra knot tab under my diamond knot, just using about a foot of microcord and make a nice little accent. With that done, I'm just going to clip and melt the excess microcord in 550, and we are just about finished. So there we have it, weavers, a paracord can Koozie using vertical hitching done with this rib cage style. This can Koozie can even be used as a pouch if you close the bottom, but I might actually do some paracord pouches in the future. Let me know if you'd like to see that or more can Koozie or bottle wraps. I hope you all enjoyed this video and learned something new. That being said, a huge thank you to all my Patreon supporters. If you want access to exclusive tutorials as well as our Discord server, feel free to check out my Patreon page, link in the video cards as well as down below. You can join for as little as $3 a month. You can also support this channel by liking the video and commenting. Also feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out what I have to offer on the rest of my channel.